Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Every AI agent, I mean every single one of them, from the simple email sorter to the complex research assistant, they all follow the same basic pattern when they work. Now, it doesn't matter what tool you're using, it doesn't matter how sophisticated it looks. Under the hood, the logic is always the same. So once you understand that logic, as simple as it is, you can't miss it. You start recognizing it in every agent demo you see, every product announcement, every tool that claims to do things for you. You see the pattern right there. But more importantly, you'll be able to use that pattern for yourself. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact mental model behind every working AI agent. It's simpler than you expect, trust me on that one. And by the end of this video, you have a practical framework that you can use the moment you start building your own AI agent. Hi, I'm Dr. Ijamando, and I am here to demystify AI one simple video at a time. So let's get into it. So here's some quick context, still just in case you need it. Most AI tools today, things like ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, they are all chatbots. So you ask a question, they answer. You stop, they stop. But an AI agent is different. You give it a goal, it figures out the steps, and it just does it. It uses tools like email, web search, spreadsheets, calendars to actually get things done for you. And it keeps going until the job is complete. It doesn't need your help to complete it. So think of it as the difference between asking someone a question and hiring someone to handle a project for you. And the part that matters most is this. You don't need to code to build one these days. Today's agent tools let you set everything up in plain English, like giving instructions to a new colleague. And if you want a deeper explanation of what agents really are, I made a separate video on this channel for that, so you can search and find out. I'll link it in the comments. But you don't need it to follow along on this video. So let's just look at how agents actually think, which is the focus of this video. I want you to imagine something. You've just hired a personal assistant, right? Not a chatbot, I mean a real human personal assistant. Now, someone who is sharp, reliable, and really good at their job, okay? Now, on their first day, you give them a simple instruction. I need you to organize a team dinner for Friday. We're having 8 people. I want it somewhere central in the city. Our budget is like $30 per person. And everyone needs to know by the end of Wednesday that you've made this plan. Now, what does a good assistant do with that information? They don't just sit down there and stare at you, waiting for the next instruction to get started. What do? They don't come back and say, hey, here are some thoughts about some restaurants. They go away and they figure it out. They think, oh, I need a restaurant. It needs to seat 8 people. It has to be central. It needs to fit the budget. Let me check a few quick options. They find 3 places, they compare them, they try to figure out if it's in the location, if it meets the budget, they pick the best one, and they come back to you with a short list if the decision feels like it needs your input. Otherwise, they make the decision for you. And then they go ahead and book it. Then they draft a message to the team with the details of the dinner coming up. And they send it. And then they add it to the calendar. And everything is all done. Just give them a goal. They broke it into steps. They used the tools available to them, a restaurant site, an email, a calendar. They made decisions along the way. And they came back to you when they were finished. Done, done, done. That right there is exactly how an AI agent works. The pattern is always the same. The only difference is speed. And these days, to set this up, you just need to describe those instructions in plain English. That's it. That's exactly what building an AI agent means today. So every AI agent runs in a loop. So there are 3 steps that keep repeating until the job is done. It is perceive, plan, and act. That's it. That's the whole thing. And these are not technical steps that you need to program. No, they are the logic that runs behind the scenes of an agent every single time. So understanding this concept is what separates someone who uses an agent well from someone who gets frustrated and just gives up. So let me break this down, each one of them, so you can understand it more deeply. Now, perceive means what does the agent know right now? Now, when your agent starts a task, the first thing it does is it takes in some information, all the information around it. For example, what did you ask it to do? What data does it have access to? What tools is available for it? What's the current state of things? In the dinner example, the agent perceived 8 people, Friday, central location, $30 per person, team needs to know by Wednesday. These are the starting context for that task to be completed. Now, the key thing is this. Perceive doesn't just happen once at the beginning. It happens at every step of the loop. So after the agent does something, for instance, it books a restaurant or sends a message, it perceives the result. It asks, did the booking go through? Did the email send? Did anything change? The agent is constantly updating its understanding of where things stand in the process. And that's what perceive is all about. Now, the plan means, what should I do next? Right, so the agent figures out the next step based on what it perceived from the previous step. Now, it doesn't do that for all the steps at once, just the next step. And this is a really important point to note, because most agents don't create a detailed 10-step plan upfront and then blindly execute it. No, so they plan 1 or 2 steps ahead, do those steps, see what happened, perceive the results, and then plan the next move based on the new information available to them. So it's more like a chess player thinking a couple of moves ahead, instead of a project manager that writes a long Gantt chart. Everything's well scripted from beginning to the end. They're getting there, but not quite. In the dinner example we had, a plan might be perceiving something like, step 1, search for restaurants that fit this criteria. And that's it. So the agent will start from there. It will be the starting plan. It would first of all search the results. And when the results come back, the agent will perceive the new information and then plan the next step from there on. So the third phase is act. And act means to do the thing. And this is where agents are fundamentally different from chatbots. A chatbot can only talk to you, but an agent can reach out and do things in the real world. They can search the web, they can read a document, they can send an email, they can update a spreadsheet, they can book a meeting, they can post a message. These are called tools. And these tools are what gives the agents their power. Without tools, an agent is just a chatbot with a good attitude. But with tools, they actually get work done. In the dinner example, the act may be something like run a search on a restaurant booking site. Then the loop starts again. Perceive the results, plan what to do with them. And an action may be narrow the list, maybe book one place, or maybe ask you to choose. So you find perceive, plan, act. And the loop continues until one of 2 things happens. So that the task is complete or the agent gets stuck, and then it will come back to you for help. So let me make this concrete with a real example. Imagine that you've set up your agent to sort your emails. So you told it in plain English what to do. Every time a new email arrives, read it. If it's urgent, label it and draft a reply. If it's informational, label it and move on. If you are not sure, flag it for review. That's the kind of instruction you give an agent, and then the agent takes it from there. So let's trace exactly how the loop runs from there on. Imagine this. A new email has landed in the inbox. So the agent reads the sender, the subject line, and the body of the email. It sees that it's from your boss. The subject says, I need your slides by tomorrow. The agent perceives all of that information and makes a plan. Now the agent thinks, based on the content of this email, it looks urgent. So it creates the plan, which is to label it as urgent and draft a reply. Now, the final step is act. What does the agent do? It labels the email urgent. It drafts a reply. For example, hi, understood. I'll have my slides ready by end of the day. And it saves that draft in your outbox for you to review. And bam, the loop is complete for that email, and the agent moves on. That's how it works. Another email arrives. This one is from HR. It perceives it. Subject, updated office hours for June. Plan, no action needed from you. This is informational. Label it and move on. Act, the agent labels it info. No reply drafted. Done. And the agent is finished his work. Now here's a tricky one. Okay? So perceive, new email arrives into your inbox. And it's from someone external. You've never emailed that person before. The subject line says, quick question, which is quite vague. What does the agent do? It plans. The agent is not sure what to do in this instance. He doesn't have enough context to confidently categorize this email. What does it do? It acts. Instead of guessing, the agent flags it for your review with a note, uncategorized sender. Couldn't categorize, please review. And this is exactly the right behavior you want for your agent. A good agent doesn't just push through when it is uncertain. No, it recognizes the limit of what it knows and asks for help when it needs it. And that's the comes back to you part of that loop. So, in this video, we have seen 3 emails, 3 cycles of the same loop: perceive, plan, act. The logic is identical every single time. What changes is the information going in and the decision coming out of that loop. But the loop is exactly the same every single time. Here is why knowing this is genuinely practical and useful, even if you haven't built an AI agent yet. Now, when you build an agent on any tool at any level, you are not writing code. You are not programming logic. No code in there. You are describing 3 things in plain English. What should the agent pay attention to? That's perceive. How should it decide what to do? That's plan. What tools can it use to get things done? That's act. And the part that will save you the most time is this. If your agent is not working the way you expected it to work, it's almost always because one of those 3 things is not set up right. Maybe it's not perceiving the right information. Maybe you forgot to give it access to the inbox or the calendar when it needs it. Maybe it's planning poorly because your instructions were too vague and the agent is making decisions you did not intend for it to make. Maybe it doesn't have the right tools connected. You asked it to send emails, but you didn't give it email access. It's not going to work. So when you understand this framework, this loop, you don't just stare at a broken agent wondering, what went wrong? What can I do? No, you just go through the loop. You check perceive, you check plan, you check act. The answer to your problem is always in one of those 3. Now, here's something you can do right now to put this framework to use right away. Now, before you build anything, I want you to think about a task that you would like an agent to handle for you. Maybe it's sorting emails, maybe, preparing for meetings, maybe something completely different from any of these ones I've mentioned. Now, I want you to break it down using this loop I just shared with you. What would the agent need to perceive? What information does it need to do the job? What would the planning look like? What rules or decisions should it follow? What tools would it need to act? Will it need an email, calendar, web search? Write every single thing down. Even just a few sentences, it's okay. Maybe something like, perceive new emails arriving in my inbox. Plan, if it is from a client, flag it as urgent. If it's a newsletter, archive it. If it's unclear, leave it for me. That kind of stuff. On the act side, you can write something like label, draft replies, and so on and so forth. This is not an exercise in futility. It's your actual first draft. The draft you're going to use when you are ready to build your first agent. So do that and keep it handy. If this video made the logic behind AI agents click for you, hit the like button. It really helps more people find this video on YouTube. Subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to keep learning. We cover AI, digital tools, and practical skills for people who want to do more with technology, regardless of their technical background. Now, I would like you to drop a comment below for me. I want to know, did the personal assistant analogy help you understand AI agents better? Or did one of the email examples click for you? I'd like to know, and I read every comment. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.